What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to Sixers Postgame Live. Today we are breaking down our reaction, our top takeaways of a Sixers victory, one of the best of this season. They get the W 110-102 over the Brooklyn Nets. Let's break it down. I'm going to throw it there to my man, Rob Lange. He is at Philly_Madness. What's up, Rob?
Man, I'm glad I'm joining another Sixers postgame. It's been a while. You know, I had to join after a win. You know, I wasn't going to make my first one after a loss. So, I mean, it had to be after a win. So, glad to be on with you guys.
Love it, love it, love it. Then we got the man, the myth, the legend. He is Tiago down there. What's up, Tiago? At T-Scabby. What's good, man?
Chris. I did not think I was going to be logging in tonight to talk about a win. Not against a loaded Nets squad, but here we are. The Sixers are back. Interesting enough, without their head coach. So, good win tonight.
I know we've got a special guest. He is my man, Sean from Philly Sports Network. Please be sure to go subscribe to the Pick Swap podcast here on YouTube. Awesome Sixers chat. My man, Sean, at Sean_Bernard1. What's up, Sean?
Awesome win. Hard-earned, gutsy. I love the chirping. I love the energy. The team brought it tonight. You saw the attitude, and I'm hyped up. Again, I didn't expect to win either, so I'm thrilled right now.
Yeah, man. Let's start going into this game. And by the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you love Joel Embiid. Hit the like button if you hate Tobias Harris, because we're also going to get into that. I have a lot to say about that. But we got to lead off with Joel Hans Embiid. 32 points, 41 points, 23 points, 36 points, 36 points. Tonight, what did he have here tonight? He had another banger. He had 34 points, 7 rebounds, an assist, 3 steals, and some talking shit to Kevin Durant at the end of this game, man. My guy was all over the place, especially late in this game. Joel Embiid, I'm going to throw it to you, Tiago. What did you see from Joel Embiid tonight?
Yeah, just more dominance. That's really been the key for Joel Embiid here over the last couple of weeks. In December, he's become that dominant MVP-type player that we saw last year. A guy like LaMarcus Aldridge can be a very tough matchup, a tough guy to move in the post. But Joel Embiid's game is more than that at this point in his career. I mean, it's face up, mid-range, dribble drive, post up, pick and roll, pick and pop. He can kill you in any type of way they can possibly imagine. And LaMarcus Aldridge stood no chance, absolutely no chance. He got absolutely murdered tonight, as so did Blake Griffin. I thought that when the Nets went small with Blake, it was a bloodbath. When they tried to go big with Aldridge, it was a bloodbath. Joel Embiid's MVP play is back, man, and it's been fun to watch. He's turned into quite a performer once again.
Did anybody get flashbacks of like OKC days, or was that Houston? I think it was Houston when Joel Embiid swatted him on the fast break. Did anybody see that as well? That was absolutely another patented Joel Embiid moment there when he blocked James Harden at the rim. What about you, Sean? Any quick takes on Embiid's epic performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you just see like the will to win in this guy. Like you see the way he competes, and tonight was especially one of those games where he just brought it and showed up and just like wanted to give the Sixers every chance to win that game, and he did. He was excellent right from the start. 16 points first quarter, kept it going. He tweaked the ankle a little bit, but kept fighting through. Picked up the defense by the end, and I can't say enough about this guy. Like paired with just how great he is at basketball and just what we've seen of him taking over, there's nobody that can guard him in the post, especially on the Nets roster. And just that, just paired with the effort and energy and the intensity, I love everything about him. I'm thrilled that he is the guy captaining the Sixers and really the face of the franchise. And we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are right now without him. So nothing but love for Joel.
There was a part in this game where I was like, we don't deserve Joel Embiid. Like as good as Joel Embiid has been over the stretch of 6 games now, like he has been terrific. They're still not, crushing these teams when Embiid's having amazing games, especially defensively. What about you, Rob? Here's the shot chart, by the way.
And that's actually what I wanted to talk about was look at where a lot of those shots are coming from. They're inside the paint. They're inside the three, all those things that drove you a little bit, that irritated you slightly about Joel Embiid. He's getting inside now. He's not afraid of that contact. He's going, like Tiago said, you're going against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's typically a guy in the past who may have given him a problem on the inside. He wasn't afraid of him tonight, and he's doing what a leader does, right? I mean, this team, look, let's face it, they're an average basketball team right now. They're a 500 team. That's who they are. Missing the man that, will continue to be nameless, and there's been no trade. So it's obviously a team that is still searching for a certain identity. Joel Embiid's telling him, hop on, let me dominate on the inside. And then, hey, Seth, you hit your threes. Tyrese, you do what you're doing, which was incredible tonight. He's being the leader that we had hoped he could mature into. And it's happened before our very eyes. And although, look, we don't know where this season's going to go. It doesn't look great. You said it, Dives, in the beginning. This was their best win of the season. And it all is because of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, let's roll right into the next guy to talk about here, and that's a guy we've been all pretty much beating our chests about. That is Tyrese Maxey. Put the ball in Tyrese Maxey's hands. You look at Tobias Harris's struggle lately; it's been absolutely brutal. And Tyrese Maxey, after that amazing November, really kind of was just thrown aside. It's either the Seth Joel two-man game. It's either throw the ball to Tobias Harris, let him dribble for 50,000 seconds and let him jack up a shot, or, Tyrese Maxey, or put him in the dunker spot, or a catch and shoot three. Here, he had 9 points in the fourth quarter, 25 points from Tyrese Maxey. That is the most since December 15th against Miami at 27 points there. But again, it's really good to see Tyrese Maxey, get involved in this offense. So I'm going to throw it to you, Rob. What was your take on Tyrese Maxey's game tonight?
I mean, late in the game, the clutch shots, the 3-pointers, he hits 2 or 3 from the corner. They fly out at him. He gives them the old school pump fake, one dribble mid-range that is like out of the game now, right? You don't see it anymore. I remember when I was coaching, we always try to teach our guys to do that. We're like, dude, just try that every now and again. He's always had that gamer mentality, but he's growing constantly, and I just wish that they could get somebody in here to take off the point guard from him and let him concentrate on this part of his game. But what can you say? I mean, look, they went up against basically the full Nets team that was 26-9 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not shy away from that. He didn't shy away from playing against these guys, and in the long run made some key plays late to really seal the victory.
Yeah, this game speaks volumes. You look at this Sixers offense has significantly struggled of recent times, and you look at kind of James Harden, you look at Kevin Durant. What did they have, like 60 points combined here? Something crazy. Like, they were excellent tonight. Kevin Durant is amazing. You look at Joel Embiid, he needs help. He needs someone to help with that scoring output. Tobias Harris was nothing. Absolutely nothing today. My man Tyrese Maxey rose to the occasion. Again, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 0 turnovers from Tyrese Maxey. It's time to let my man get some touches. What about you, Tiago? What was your take on Tyrese?
I mean, it's about confidence. If you watch the Sixers complimenting your offense around Embiid, nobody wants to take that 3-point shot. Nobody does. Tobias doesn't want to take it. Curry doesn't want to take it. God forbid the ball swings over to Matisse, man. He will find any reason imaginable not to shoot a 3-point shot. So ball swung to Maxey tonight, man. This kid is like fearless. I mean, this kid was the same kid who last year in Atlanta, in a decisive game 6, right? Game 6,
yeah,
went in there and just took on the show by himself early on in that game and completely swung that game around. So it's all about confidence. And Sean and I were talking before the podcast. When you watch him as a 3-point shooter, he's kind of found a home in the corner. And it's because, I think, is the fact that it's just a shorter distance. So when you watch him from the wing and from the trailer 3 position, his 3-point shots usually fall short, but not from the corner, man. They're going in a very high level. Again, low volume, but he's very comfortable shooting from the corner. So it feels like he's found a home as a shooter on the wing. And tonight he hit some absolute clutch shots late in the game. He was the complimentary scorer that Tobias is supposed to be. But it was, again, Maxey, the one that delivered alongside Embiid tonight.
What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I think this was the best game all season that Maxey has played alongside Joel, and it's cool to see the growth in that. And like you guys said, like Embiid was kind of looking around, hoping for a sidekick to step up, and Maxey was able to be that guy. I mean, 5 3-pointers is a career high for him, just being the offense. And I loved, even right before halftime, that the heat check he was throwing up and the back-to-back threes. Like, I'm all about it. Like, do your thing. This is you. Let it fly. And you see the growth in confidence. Even when he got blocked by James Johnson and he's out there tapping him on the butt, saying, like, talking a little too, like, it feels like he's kind of coming into his own skin, finding it. And I mean, as frustrating it is as Tobias has been, and I'm sure we'll talk plenty about that, it's cool to see Maxey like willing to kind of leapfrog him and do that thing. And frankly, I'm way happier that it's Maxey shooting whatever shot than just the Tobias dribble around for 20 seconds and throw up a fadeaway. So.
You know, and you know where you see the confidence is he comes off a game where him and Joel go up to the podium and literally make fun of him for how bad he shot the ball. And it's like this kid's like 21 years old, and he's got the moxie of a 10-year vet. Like that, having that night doesn't bother him. Like he laughs about it in public with the star of the team. And then what does he do? He comes out the next night and has his best game of the year, maybe with the 25 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, the kid just he is tough not to love. He is tough not to love.
Here's the shot chart for Tyrese Maxey. Look at my man when the corner three's there.
That's what Danny Green's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, it's not your typical Maxey game. You know, he's definitely a lot better there in that paint area. But yeah, the first thing I see from Maxey, his pull-up game was absolutely terrific tonight. He's making his threes. He made him in that Embiid pick and roll. He shot over the screen and made a 3 in this game as well. Not in the fourth quarter. I think it was like in the first or second quarter. But excellent game from Tyrese Maxey. And that kind of let's do some comments, and then we're going to get into some of the opposite of what we're excited about here, and that is Tobias Harris. We have Jonathan Himes saying, Kevin Durant cries too much. He's too talented for that nonsense. I mean, I love it. I love it, man.
I do, but no, but listen, Kevin Durant is like the world's biggest baby, dude. Like, like seriously, like really, you're gonna go get in a guy's face, dude. You get burners on Twitter because you're afraid to just say it from your own Twitter page. Don't I can't look. He is a beast of a basketball player. We were talking about it in a group text tonight, and I called him not a very nice word that begins with P. And my cousin put it right. He said, look, because he's so great, I don't know if I'd call him that, but he certainly has the tendencies of one of those. And that's what I agree with. Like, just take the L, dude. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to get in Joe's face for being who Joel Embiid is.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I like it to a certain extent, but it's like it came off as like babyish tonight. If you ask me,
I don't think KD appreciated the defense that Thibault was playing on him.
Dude,
it was. I would be annoyed. Now, great, KD got a ton of buckets on Thibault. There's nothing you can do against Kevin Durant, but it was annoying to watch. Like Thibault constantly in his face, just bumping into him and doing his thing. I think at some point KD just kind of had it throughout the game. To be honest with you.
Yeah, here is Thibault at the end of the game versus Kevin Durant.
Sixers failed to capitalize. Maxey's little enemy thought he had got fouled there. Durant for 3. Thibault, great contest. Goes out of bounds off of Brooklyn.
Ooh, that was really lagging on my end. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, lagging here too.
Anyway, we have RJ saying Joel Embiid a grown-ass man. I love it.
Absolutely.
Jonathan Himes says Maxey dropping 25 is almost as impressive as Joel.
Just as important.
It is. Maxey's just got to do it for himself, man. Like, he's not getting any breaks. Doc Rivers is not cutting him any slack.
Speaking of which, how many people are firing Doc Rivers tonight and telling the Sixers to hire Dan Burke? Because Twitter. Like, look, I'm not like Doc has made some decisions I'm not crazy about, but I can't wait to go on Twitter and see all the people that say, see, Doc's the problem. We got to get him out of here. Like, it's so reactionary on that damn website. It's unbelievable.
It was very fun to me how we went from the probably our best offensive quarter all season to our worst just from the first to second, and the offense went from just absolutely clicking to dead. So plenty of reactions I'm sure will be on that too, but just insane how hot and cold it goes.
It's crazy. Yeah, this was a game of runs, man. So many runs in this game. I mean, that it always is, but just 14-2, 10-2, 14-2. It was all over the place. Smacky says if Embiid plays like this, we are not an average team. Could be a turning point of the season. RJ says no Doc and we beat Kevin Durant. That's going to be all over Philly sports radio, no doubt about it. Tyrese from Jonathan Himes. Tyrese reminds me a little of Kyle Lowry. I like it. Yeah. Kyle Terrell says we needed that win bad. This was a statement win for the Sixers. We started the show off. This was one of their best of the year.
Can I just make a point of the Doc thing? Because I think, again, to fire Doc off one game, obviously it's crazy. But I do think it speaks a little bit of how irrelevant coaching is in the NBA.
Yeah.
With respect to how fans make it out to be. Mm-hmm. And if it's truly that irrelevant, then I would ask the Sixers brass, why sign Doc Rivers for 5 years? Because you could have probably found something as impactful, if not better, for much less. And we would not be anchored down to a coach who has many flaws, especially in the postseason. So it's just something to think about.
The one thing I will say for Dan Burke, and shout out for, I guess, this adjustment is fourth quarter wise, he rode with the bench unit for way longer than we usually see. And he also didn't play Tobias with that unit, which those are typically his minutes too. So I do think it was an upgrade going with the all bench over having Tobias in there tonight, especially. And I was kind of getting nervous for the how late he put the starters in, but it was working, and the bench unit played well today. Great minutes from Niang, great from Drummond. Everybody kind of contributed, so it was awesome to see that, and it was cool to let him rock out there, and it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, Tobias is literally there for his offense. No, we're not going to get there yet. Hold on, let's get some more comments. Jonathan Himes says, "I like seeing Embiid and KD get into it."
Me too.
Oh, it's great. I mean, my favorite basketball was the '90s, and I love it, man. Just I love it so much. KD's a great player, but not a cool person.
In the '90s, they actually threw a punch. Like KD, there was never one moment where I'm like, "Oh man, KD's really going to go." No, KD's going to talk in your face and act like he's a big tough guy. He's going to say some stuff in his post-game press conference, and then he'll take to his burners on Twitter and say all kinds of other crap tonight.
Yeah. Did Dan Burke make a difference? I don't know. Their defensive pressure definitely was up tonight. I don't know if that was on the Nets a little bit, but especially in the first quarter, getting points off turnovers, sparking fast break points, transition buckets, that was up big time. I wonder what the stats say on that one, but that definitely seemed to be up when for a team that is just scavenging for any kind of offense. That is huge, especially given what we saw with Ben Simmons in years past.
Chris, the Sixers took 100 field goals tonight. They took 77 against Toronto. I don't know if it's by design or not, but the pace was clearly up.
Yeah, that's
a coaching thing, or if it's just a result of playing the Nets or play generally faster or not. But the Sixers generally do not take 100 field goals when Doc Rivers is coaching. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I don't know if it's by design or not. So it's, again, wondering why that happened. That's something to ponder.
There was like a Matisse deflection or a Seth Curry strip or something in that first quarter, and you just saw Tyrese Maxey go straight down the other side and get a bucket in transition. I was just smiling because that's what we need. All right, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into Tobias freaking Harris, who has been dragging this team offensively. Whether you want to call him overrated last year, whatever, he was a fringe all-star. He is just twofold a much worse player this year so far. Tonight he ended up, what did he have in the box score? He was 4-14 for 9.6 assists, 0 turnovers. But this guy's I know he's, getting paid like a max player, but he needs to put the ball in the basket. He looks slow. He's way too hesitant. At least last year, he was a quick decision maker with the ball in his hands. He's not getting it done within like 15 feet. I don't know. Is it even worth getting upset about? Is like where I'm at. Like Tobias is what he is at this point. I'm going to throw it to Tiago here because where do we go from here? Like, it's clearly not working, and there's so much data now to suggest it's not. And I don't know how it gets fixed regarding Doc's offense, Tobias Harris. Like, my main take of this game was like, can I just trade this guy for a laundry machine because he is that bad?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a Tobias problem. Tobias is who he is, and he's always going to be who he is. At some point, the Sixers need to get real about what they want out of that power forward position. And it's been clear ever since Dario Saric was the Sixers power forward as to what they need out of a power forward position, which is a catch and shoot guy who's not going to hesitate, who's going to spread the floor. They now finally have that with Georges Niang, and you immediately see the impact that he brings from the power forward position the moment he's out there, because he's doing exactly the things that you said, Chris, Tobias doesn't do. He doesn't hesitate. He takes open shots and doesn't try to hero ball in every possession. But again, Doc Rivers is a true believer in Tobias Harris, and he believes that Tobias Harris running your offense is the way to the promised land. So again, if I'm Tobias Harris, why would I shy away from having that responsibility? You know, he's going to take that on and do the best that he can with that. It's on Daryl Morey to figure out a solution, and that includes figuring out how to eventually move Tobias Harris. And that's the way this is going to end. It is not going to end anywhere differently because Tobias Harris, for all his faults, is an integral part of Doc Rivers' offense. And that's not going to change. So we're going to keep running this over and over again until either the coaching changes or the roster changes. And right now, it seems like both the GM and the coach seem to be in lockstep with what they want out of Tobias Harris and the team. And again, it was just another abysmal offensive showing, and it's been the case for most of the year. So we'll continue to monitor, but it's just the way that it is.
He has 2 3-point attempts the last 3 games combined. What about you, Sean? Like, where is it? Like Tiago said, like, we're just kind of stuck in a rut, and it is what it is until the Ben Simmons move is made, and then we would go from there. Or do we bite the bullet, add everything we can in the Tobias trade, and just move on and just accept Elton Brand's?
Yeah. I mean, so to start with, I really feel like Tobias Harris is everything that Daryl Morey hates in like basketball. Like, he makes slow decisions. He operates in the mid range. He passes up open 3-pointers. Like, I feel like Morey has to be itching to get rid of this guy too. And like, the core of where I get to it is every single decision based on this roster has to be built around what complements Joel Embiid the most. And that's just simply not Tobias Harris. Like, they operate in kind of the same spaces. They're both mid-range and post primary of their offense. And a lot of times Toby's just kind of getting in Joel's way. And it's so frustrating to me. Like, Tobias Harris just loves himself a difficult 2-point jump shot. Like, he lives for the fadeaway post kind of contested 2. And it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's gotten worse to the point where they're like, there's layups that he are making look difficult lately. And it like, I think we've hit like a low point of Tobias Harris right now. It definitely feels like, not that I've ever like loved what he's kind of done, but I don't think he's ever been this bad before. And it just really is noticeable for just how often that he touches the ball and dribbles the ball. And it's the lack of decisiveness that I think has been the most disappointing this year. Like, as much as I agree with the Tobias Harris is who he is, and a lot of this is he just has way too much on his plate for what kind of he signed up for. Like, there just isn't that same like mentality. Like, last year we saw the quick decisions, the getting to a spot and putting up a shot. There's so much just kind of like dribble, kind of pump fake, kind of jerk, not figuring out. He doesn't know what he wants to do either. So I do think the Sixers need to find a way to move on from him. And even if it's something as simple as like swapping bad contracts, like if you think about like a Kevin Love or a Buddy Hield, something along those lines, is fit wise, this makes this team astronomically better. So I think it is something Morey will be looking into. I think ideally it would have been like the big time Simmons deal trade and then find Tobias for the complementary pieces to fill that team. But I just don't know if that timeline is going to work out either. So I think the sooner rather than later is kind of best case scenario on moving him. But I also am sure his value isn't anywhere close to high right now.
Here's a tweet I did last May. Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris's ISO numbers were terrific, 86 and 90 percentile. This year, it's 68 percentile for Tobias Harris in ISO stats. So just kind of an interesting comparison there. how much he's dropped. He hit shots last year. Tobias Harris hit his shots. They're just not falling. What about you, Rob?
Well, look, I'm going to say it. I know you guys probably have said I haven't been on many Sixers shows, but Tobias Harris misses Ben Simmons. I think Tobias Harris is a different player when you have a facilitator that like Ben Simmons out there. So I think that's one thing. Secondly, I think here in this city, we all worry about the contract, but let's remember the situation. Jimmy Butler wasn't coming back. They had to do. They basically were forced into signing him to that deal. Like, I'm not mad at Tobias Harris for signing that deal. Good for you. You got your money. But Tobias isn't a second. He's not a third option. Really, Tobias should be a fourth option, especially when he's not shooting threes at a higher clip. He needs more attempts. He needs to shoot more attempts. He's not doing it. Like you guys said, it's almost like the ball gets stuck with him. He's dribbling around, doesn't know what to do, and then you get this crazy shot. It's a shame because you're all right. I don't think it works out here, but like Tiago said, he's not going anywhere right now. I think your only hope is that they do make some sort of a trade with Ben, and he could kind of fall back into not such a primary weapon that they need to score the ball. But I mean, I don't even know if that can happen. It's just, it's just right now they're stuck. I mean, it is what it is.
His
he should though. So I think he should go somewhere. I mean, I think that it's kind of a little bit egregious the fact that Morey hasn't at least tried to move him by now. I mean, I think that's roster malpractice, to be honest with you. I think that's just catering way too much to Doc Rivers' wants, because once you move Tobias Harris, you unlock so much more from your roster, right? Which means more Tyrese Maxey on the ball. You have better spacing because you have a power forward who can just catch and shoot. And the fact that you haven't done that, you're setting the roster back from guys who need to develop. And again, that needs to be addressed at some point. You can't just keep giving Doc Rivers full autonomy to kind of run with Tobias Harris. At some point, you got to call it like it is, man. Like, he's getting in the way of players developing.
I think that's probably more of an off-season move for this team. I don't see them doing that in a mid-season. I just don't see them doing it this year. But I do agree where I think at the end of this season, because look, this season is not ending with a championship for this roster. So, I mean, there's going to have to be changes made, and we know that. And you got to think Daryl Morey's a smart enough guy; he knows that.
You look at his effective field goal percentage with his pull-up J. This year it is 43%. No, 40. Yeah, I just forgot what it was. 43% last year. 47% last year. Wait, no, forget it. I forgot. I got too many things. I'm managing multitasking way too much. Let's go to some quick comments about Tobias Harris here. Quentin Moore says Doc coaching issues, ball sticking, no roll on the pick and roll, 2-man game while everyone stands still, consistently not running plays, playing all bench teams at the wrong times. Rob Smith says Tobias is a very good three-point shooter for a power forward. He just never shoots. Again, 2 3-point attempts the last 3 games. If he took twice as many threes, he would be fine. Would love to see that. Jonathan Heim says Embiid has never been a roller, and when Drummond is on the floor with Shake, he rolls all the time. Should we quickly touch on Drummond? This was his first game back in a while. I thought Drummond was pretty okay, especially defensively. He had 8 quick points in like 7 minutes, and that was really impressive. But again, I was really impressed with his defense, especially just contesting shots in the paint. There was a time, especially in that second quarter, when Joel Embiid was off the court. The Sixers weren't hitting shots, but defensively, they held strong and maintained their lead. If you didn't have Tobias Harris on this team and you had Embiid and Andre Drummond, I'd love this. Like, I'm good with this front court, and they could probably add a piece here moving forward. But that's the Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons issue that is just not going away anytime soon. Let's go real quick. Andre Drummond before player of the game. Rob, what was your kind of take on Andre Drummond tonight?
I mean, look, the guy hasn't played in a while. You don't know how big men, especially their stamina is going to be, but he was battling. He made some nice moves. I remember an N1 early in the first half. Andre Drummond did what you need Andre Drummond to do. He doesn't kill you in the minutes that Joel Embiid has to sit. And tonight, I thought he played well. I mean, coming back, it was huge to get him back tonight. Especially you were going to be undermanned again. You know, I know the two guys that got put on COVID are not like the biggest names in the world, but you needed more bodies. He came back, and I thought he did exactly what we needed him to do.
That pass he had, that he tried to do a behind the back pass. So I think it was either Furkan or something in the corner.
There's your first mistake.
Dude, he throws so many crazy ass batshit passes in tight windows.
That one was so far off that the rest were like, that had to have been tipped. Even though, like, I really don't think it was at all. Like, I really think he just threw that out of bounds. But the refs were like, that had to have been a tip pass.
He almost took out a baby on the third row.
He's a riot, man. Andre Drummond's a riot.
Like, fine for that.
He was a +8 here tonight, which led the starters. So no, not the starters. Anyway, I read that wrong.
Chris is like watching.
Chris, we still got another pot after it.
I know. I'm working on it. All right, guys, let's roll into quick player of the game. We're already 30+ minutes in here. I'm going to throw it to our special guest, Sean. Who is your player of the game?
I got to go with Joel. I think.
Come on.
I know it's the easy answer, but just top to bottom, like, he set the tone right off the tip. That he kept the mentality for this team, and I mean, we wouldn't be remotely in this game if it wasn't for Adam. So I'm rocking with our MVP.
Nice. What about you, Tiago?
And I'll leave the other guy for you guys. I'll give Thibault a shout out.
No, that's where I was going to
Again, is he the player of the game? Probably not. Does he drive you crazy with his offensive nonsense? Absolutely. But the guy, man, puts it all on the line defensively against Harden, defended against Durant for most of the time. The Sixers are probably not in this game without some sort of Thibault defensive impact, and he played a major role in the win tonight, no question.
That was where I was going to go. I have to adjust here. What about you, Rob?
I'm selfish, so I'm taking Tyrese Maxey. I'm not leaving him.
Hey, man.
The young guy, like I said, to come back from the game where he's joking about how bad he was and to play maybe his best game. And for me, seeing him become more confident as a shooter from behind the arc is something that I love to see. Like, I just love the kid's game. I love those guys that just have that it factor. And Tyrese Maxey's one of those guys. And tonight, it was the ultimate it factor. Late in a game, a close game with the best team in the East. And he's not only shooting, but he's hitting clutch shots. So kudos to Tyrese tonight.
You know what? I'm not even gonna go with a player.
Oh, shocker. Have you ever gone with a player for play?
I don't like the gimmies. I'm gonna go with my man, a duo. Tom McGinnis and Mark Jackson, I thought, were really strong tonight. I really enjoyed their banter. That felt really natural to me. No disrespect to Kate, no disrespect to Allah. It gets insufferable at times. I'm not going to lie. I thought
no disrespect, but it's insufferable.
That was a hard work.
I do miss Zoom off so much.
I know, right? That's like the take every single
I do think we'll grow to really appreciate Kate, because I do think she's got a knowledge for the game. And I think, look, you're following a guy who's been doing this for 30 years, and you got Allah there, who's a big personality too. So it's not easy, man. No. It's not easy.
I really enjoyed though. Tom McGinnis and Mark Jackson. It almost felt like they were just having this natural conversation about the game, and I was really enjoying it. And you didn't have many like homerisms. It was a job well done on my end. So they get my player of the game, sort of.
I had them on TV number 2, so they were muted. I never even got to hear them once. For Christmas, I got 2 more TVs, so I got a 3 TV setup here, and I got bowl games and all kinds of stuff rolling through. So I had them on the side left TV here, so I didn't even get to hear them.
Zach Hines says, imagine how good we'd be if 2/3 of our salary cap wasn't going to 25 and Harris. God. And Teddy says, wonderful game tonight.
I imagine how good they would be if actually Ben Simmons was playing on this team.
I know.
Because I think they're a better roster for him overall, but
no question.
Out there, that's a huge void.
I really wish it was Tobias Harris that threw the temper tantrum and sat out this year. I really do.
Absolutely. All right, Sean, where can we find you, man? Plugs time. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, check out all my written work at phillysportsnetwork.com. Check out the podcast, Pick Swap Pod. Subscribe to that on YouTube. Twitter at Sean Bernard 1 and at Pick Swap Pod are the 2 accounts that we got content coming out from. So Sixers content all the time, and check me out.
Awesome. Pick Swap Podcast. Share the love, guys. Check them out on YouTube. So good. Tiago, what do you got going on, man?
Yeah, they're great. Been there before. You guys are pretty awesome. They know their stuff for sure. I just finished an article on Daryl Morey, why I think it's just time to kind of step up and start making some moves. So go on thepaintedlines.com or check it out on my Twitter account. Make sure you take a deep dive into why the Sixers need to kind of start changing the way that they play or some of the players that they have around Joel Embiid.
What about you, Rob?
Find me at Philly_Madness. You can find me in about 35 seconds on another pod with Dives as we break down possibly the next quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to be hopping in on a few of these more and more, getting myself reacclimated a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm finally like coming down from the Spider-Man high. I've done like shows like every night the last 2 weeks on Spider-Man and Hawkeye. It's just been like a Marvel mania is what has been going on, but glad to be back with Sixers post game for sure. Things are calming down a little bit until tomorrow when Cobra Kai starts, but we've got
Cobra Kai starts tomorrow?
Yes, sir, baby. Let's go.
Me.
But anyway, yeah, we're doing a scouting report tonight, literally right after this on Kenny Pickett and his fit with the Eagles. I've got a lot of tape to break down. Me and Rob are going to react to it, and we have another guest joining as well, my man Mark Henry. So we'll be breaking down Kenny Pickett just as we all have been with the quarterbacks. And then we're going to move into the edge and cornerback class, which I think is extremely deep and definitely huge targets for the Eagles. I love the day two depth for the Eagles at edge. Juice Gardner is definitely one to watch here. I think they play tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm going to be breaking down all that kind of stuff. The NFL draft is my baby. I can't wait to deep dive into that. Follow my man Rob on Twitter at Philly_Madness. My man Tiago down there. There he is. I'm flustered tonight. At T Scabia, and my man for Philly Sports Network. Check out the Pick Swap Pod. He is at Sean_Bernard1. Thank you everyone for watching. Sixers get the W tonight. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Hit it if you hate Tobias Harris. Stay awesome, everybody.